Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Sounds like heaven.
Season 11.
Bum.
Bum. That's right, everyone. It's the season finale of Christmas in July 2024. And tonight we are unwrapping a gift that was seemingly brought straight from the Marvel gods, basically to fill our purposes, Dragon. This might be one of the most on-brand episodes that we've covered in quite a while. We are talking what if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? And Dragon, I think it's fair. I can speak for both of us when I say that as soon as we watched this episode, we were like, oh, freaking perfect. Not only is this a Christmas in July, this is like a Christmas in July finale. So yeah, a lot of fun. Dragon, do you have any initial thoughts before we dive into it?
Well, yeah, I mean, in general, I love the Marvel What If stuff. Just that from the comic to the show, I just love the idea of what if. And this was easily the standout of season 2 of What If. This episode was a biggie. It's got a lot of comic nods, got the fun holiday setting, and continues the love affair Iron Man seems to have with the action Christmas movie. With Iron Man 3 and the whole Lethal Weapon
Mm-hmm.
thing. But
Definitely
yes,
extends that for sure.
yeah. So this one was definitely a winner for me, and I was very happy to get it, and again, very simpatico, and absolutely we got to do this for Christmas in July.
All right. Little Blue said, "I'm sure you guys will talk about Comic Con for movie memoirs." Yeah, we absolutely will, Little Blue. We absolutely will. Do not worry. We know we're a little bit behind on that, but the Comic Con news is coming. We also have Co Gias in the comments. He says, "What if Happy Hogan was related to a wrestler?" Well, that would be an entirely different episode, then, wouldn't it? Yeah. For me, Dragon, this episode, it was like obviously it fit our needs, but it especially just kind of gave me something that I've wanted from the MCU for a long time, and that is the return of Justin Hammer. I was so happy that Justin Hammer was in the Alan Rickman slot in this Die Hard parody. It's so fun. There's just so many little fun things about this episode. I don't necessarily think it's a perfect Christmas episode by any means, but like I said, it just fits our needs so well. It's like kind of got that sort of mix of blockbuster action, um, Christmas tropes, and then a little bit of heart and humor along the way. So, yeah, without further ado, Dragon, are you about ready to just dive into it?
Laughing all the way.
All right, let's open our stocking one last time. So we kick things off with the Watcher. I will say, Dragon, it kind of bugs me that the Watcher he's not really a great rhymer with this night before Christmas setup, is he?
I think he's better than we do with it.
I don't know about that, considering how much effort we sometimes put into our intros.
I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like sometimes he just kind of skips over rhymes. He's like, all through the town, the Avengers were fighting a brand new superpower. I'm like, that doesn't rhyme, but you know what? It's fine. Anyways, Night Before Christmas, narration, trope. Okay, this isn't necessarily a Christmas trope, Dragon, but we very much get the whole like, you're probably wondering how we got into this situation.
Yeah, so the Watcher is regaling us with his favorite Yuletide story.
Uh-huh.
We have a snow globe transition. There's a trope for you.
That yes, indeed. The
We have
rosebud of it
stockings.
all.
Yeah, we had stockings hung with care. At least they were. Again, we have the Twas the Night Before Christmas telling, as we've established. So, again, mid action, we have Iron Man, we have Captain America dressed like an elf, Black Widow in a tutu, and they're fighting some purple freak that's not Thanos. And that's just where we check into things here. So we wind the clocks back. We rewind 2 hours prior to all this craziness, and yeah, so we see so that's kind of where our story starts.
All right, so we wind 2 hours back, as you said, and we are trying to put, this is so silly, a giant metallic Santa hat on the Avengers A dragon.
Which, fun fact, again, that Avengers A was part of Downey Jr.'s payday on the first Avengers movie.
Oh God! Oh no!
Wait, you didn't know that?
I don't think I had heard that. No.
Yeah, Downey Jr. He stipulated like with the whole like I don't know if it's like the gross or not, but basically he got a share of like the Avengers profits, which is why he could buy any island he wants on the planet.
Well,
But
for the recent news, I am totally betting that he got the entire Avengers Tower.
well, that's the thing. So he just wanted the A. So he actually has the giant prop A from kind of like basically the exterior shots of the tower, like when Thor and Loki are kind of mixing it up outside the exterior. So that giant A, Downey's got it.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we put a giant Santa hat on the A. So Happy Hogan, he's in charge of he's instructing the Ultrons to do this. So that's kind of our setting here. We're pre Age of Ultron, post Iron Man 3, pre Age of Ultron. So that's kind of where we're set. I'd surmise after Winter Soldier if I'm a betting man, but it could be a little before that. Anyway, so we're decorating. Darcy, she's basically Happy's Argyle. She's kind of helping out, but he's keeping her at a distance.
Does she really have to be Argyle Dragon?
Not that Argyle, like the Argyle from Die Hard.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's the original Argyle. Like Argyle.
Dragon, that movie's ad campaign has scarred me. Okay,
yeah,
I still have trauma from
cry
that
me a
ad
river.
campaign.
Tell your therapist about it. Anyway, so the point being,
you're a goddamn fortune teller, Ellie. By the way, Sam Rockwell.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
all right, so. Anyway, so Darcy's kind of like the limo driver Argyle. Later on, going to be a little bit more Al Powell-esque, but let's just say Argyle for right now. They're preparing for the big Avengers Christmas Gala party. So again, big Christmas party. Trope. Jarvis is being defragged, for the holidays, since it's peacetime after all. So Jarvis is offline again. The plot reason for that being, how else are we going to have someone breach like the most secure fortress ever, which be the Avengers Tower? Well, Jarvis is going to be out of commission, which is what happens in Ultron as well. Jarvis is out of commission, which is how Ultron kind of attacks in the first place. So you need Jarvis out of commission. So that's how you do it. So again, this is nice. Okay, so this is Happy post Iron Man 3. He's wanting to step out of the bodyguard shadow, which we kind of addressed in Iron Man 3 and kind of seen going forward in the MCU, where he's very much Iron Man needs a bodyguard. So we it's him trying to kind of show that he can do more. So he wants to be in charge of security. He wants to be kind of taken seriously. So this is his big moment to shine. And Maria Hill kind of running point, and Maria Hill very festive. You know how we know she's festive.
Oh my God, dude! The freaking single. What is it? A snowman on her sweater?
Yeah, it's a snowman brooch. It's like a brooch on her shield.
I love it. Yep. Which is a trope in its own right. It's not quite an ugly Christmas sweater, but it's a Christmas sweater with class, man.
Well, I mean, more so it's a snowman, so trope.
There we go.
All right, so she's counting on Happy to pull off the gala tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
Darcy, Happy is counting on Darcy to get some cherries for
not
the
just any cherries. Get some maraschino cherries.
Hey, you're just trying to get rid of me.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so as Darcy is leaving, we have a bunch of guys carrying poinsettias. Tiki, Look at the tropes they're bringing in. Look at all
Oh
those tropes. Do you see it? No, don't look away. They're getting in the elevator. The tropes.
So many of them, yes.
Anyway, so points out as trope. Justin Hammer and the Russians are actually the ones delivering said tropes.
What a twist.
Yeah.
I would also say maybe like Russian bad guys is a trope unto itself.
Okay, come on. Well, to itself, not a Christmas trope.
Well, it's Die Hard.
Well, they weren't all necessarily. I don't think they were. They're German. They were
Okay,
German.
fine.
Tiki.
Eastern European bad guys, Dragon.
Okay, fine. The Eastern European trope. Okay, anyway, point being though, the connection here being, Justin Hammer we've seen him work with Russians in Iron Man 2, and like here, two mixed results.
So can I just point out, I love how, of course, when we need to introduce who Justin Hammer is for anyone who might not be caught up or doesn't remember, we fucking go instantly to the dance, Dragon, the glorious dance.
That's by no accident.
I just love how this man's whole freaking presence and persona in the MCU is defined by like those 5 seconds of what I assume to be improv.
Well, yeah. Well, no, seriously. When they shot Iron Man 2, Rockwell did improvise a little dance.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so basically, then the Watcher kind of transitions us into another trope, the story of how maybe this is actually the story of how Justin Hammer stole Christmas.
Oh yeah. Justin Hammer, not really the Scrooge, but definitely the Grinch for sure, especially with his heist scheme.
There you go. Yes. So basically, the what if here being what if the actual what if being. What if Justin Hammer plotted his revenge post Iron Man 2 pre Age of Ultron? Like, what if he'd been planning up to that point a Die Hard-esque parody revenge plot? Like, I'm going to go into Avengers Tower and take it all from Tony Stark.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, they're breaking into the Stark Tower as the party's going on. He's ruining the party, kind of Joker style, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, enter. Well, again, it's also Die Hard. The terrorists come in, they shoot up the place.
Sure.
But yeah, so Justin Hammer, he tries to calm the crowd down with basically plagiarizing A Christmas Story.
Oh my god, I fucking lost it the first time I saw it.
Now why this is
even to rip off A Christmas Story wholesale, and I would say just anything, literally any singular element of A Christmas Story, just referencing A Christmas Story is a trope unto itself.
Oh, it's a big old trope. Now, do you know what's fun about this trope?
What?
It's actually there's a meta contextual element to this gag.
Is there?
Yes, Jon Favreau is friends with Ralphie from A Christmas Story, Peter Billingsley.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Peter Billingsley is in Iron Man and in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, remember, he's a Ginter. He's the guy who runs the Mysterio program, and he was the guy that Obadiah Stane is yelling at. The whole Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Right,
so he's he's the lead scientist for Stane. Anyway, so yeah, it's a little nod to his. He and Vince Vaughn, they're really good friends of Peter Billingsley. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, this is America. You want something, you take it. So he hacks the tower and the Ultrons. They get hacked, the Target, and the staff. So, knock 'em dead, Johnny Fives. It's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I hear Johnny Five, I'm not thinking of Short Circuit. I'm thinking of Short Circuit 2. What about you, Tiki?
I'm not really all that caught up on the Short Circuit series. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just 2 movies.
Yeah, I know, and I've not really watched either one of them. I know I know about them mostly from the Nostalgia Critic.
Okay.
This is something you didn't know about me.
Well, I mean, I knew that's what I'm saying. Based on the Nostalgia, you never looked into them.
I don't know what to tell you, Dragon. I don't have time to watch everything that man reviews.
All right. Anyway, so Happy stumbles on Hammer trying to break into Tony's lab. Basically, he and basically all Tony toying around with a lot of the Avengers stuff along with Bruce Banner because they are science bros. We established this in a magazine. They are, so they're sharing a lab, so their research is there, and
I
basically
feel like we get more Science Bros stuff post Avengers in this episode than we do like. I mean, I guess we get a little bit of it in Age of Ultron, but that's about it. Like the Science Bros thing kind of goes away pretty quickly in the MCU.
Well, it's mainly because we sent the Hulk into space, Tiki.
Yeah, I know, but losing the Science Bros thing is one of the is one of the downfalls of that. I'm not saying it wasn't for the best, but that was one of the prices we had to pay.
Yes. Anyway, so Bruce Banner had some Hulk blood in the Avengers lab.
Mm.
So it's basically Hammer's plan here is he wants to make himself a superhero using some Hulk blood. Very ill-advised plan. And the Russians are using a sledgehammer to crack the safe, so to speak. And again, just one hammer, Justin Hammer.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. I do like how they are using a literal hammer. That's very fun wordplay.
Yeah, but also again, just Justin Hammer just having no luck with the Russians every turn. It's his curse. It's his curse to bear. He heads so Justin Hammer heads to Tony Stark's bathroom to leave him a lump of coal, let's say.
And then Happy's just like, he's headed for Tony's bathroom.
God. All right. So Happy, he's basically he's in the John McClane he's in the John McClane kind of situation right now. He jumps to the air vent, and ends up getting kind of he doesn't get stuck in there, but he's going to get very tightly kind of wedged in there, doing the John McClane kind of shuffle.
John McClane was an everyman. Happy Hogan, perhaps a little bit more of an everyman.
Yep, not just every director.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Dragon, just don't let Happy Hogan start talking about fur glow and CGI and whatnot. All right,
sure.
Fine.
Regardless, let's just say right now, Happy Hogan. It's very timely that we're talking about this. I'm going to say that much.
Sure.
That's all. Anyway, so
all right, we get another delightful fucking Justin Hammer dance. I just can't get over how fun the animation is on it.
Yeah. He's dancing up in the penthouse, basically where Tony was tough talking Loki, and the bar scene from Age of Ultron. So he's he's doing his little look at the Hammer dance. Look at him do his little dance. He's doing the happy elf dance. Look at him. All right, so Maria Hill kind of puts a damper on Hammer's party there. It's like, yes, you're face to face with Tony Stark's greatest adversary. Greatest adversary? What are you, a wealth tax? Yeah. Anyway, so it kind of goes on there. Happy's called Darcy at this point, trying to loop her into what's going on. Says, I did learn something, Maria Hill. Cheating is for winners. So he brings in the Ultrons. He's got an advantage here. Happy he's precariously sneaking into the lab upside down. He ends up collapsing the vent. He gets caught, and also like the motion sensors in the labs is like, please don't
say these Russians are just really bad at their job when it comes to detecting people who might be a threat.
Well, yeah, you're right. They did. I do love, however, that they know when to run later, but also it's the fact of like, yeah, we can see you. I like the we can see you runner. I don't know. I think it's kind of
no. I like the we can see you. I'm just saying specifically here where they, Happy's literally hanging upside down and they just do not notice him.
Oh, he's in the dark though.
Yeah, I know he's in the dark, but still.
Didn't you know Russians have terrible eyesight? Did you not know this? They don't have night vision. How dare you shame them for that? But anyway, they have feelings too and beards.
Yes, Dragon. All Russians have beards. No.
Well, no, I'm saying these Russians have beards.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay, so we have Chekhov's confetti arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Tony, you're booking Hawkeye out for parties now?
Yep. Let's see. So, we have when all the chaos and the gunfire is going off as he's frantically looking for the Hulk blood. He finds it and bumps into it, and it just falls into his leg. And very, I love how he even calls his out. What? Why does it work like this? It automatically injects him. Like the plunger goes down
Right,
automatically.
right.
It's like it's not a gravity thing. It's just like that thing is like it's a technology thing, or just like it automatically looks like zoop. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, Happy's been injected with Hulk blood. So I was gobsmacked in the best of ways here. When I saw the openings, I didn't predict this is where it was going because again, at first it looks like it might be Hulk, and then you see there's a little bit of purple there, and you're wondering Thanos. You have no idea what's happening.
I didn't think it was Thanos. I was
Well,
thinking
that's what
like
I'm saying. I didn't
maybe
know
we were
it.
gonna get like maybe it was gonna be like I don't know, like not Red Hulk, but a variation of it. I
Well,
certainly
that's
didn't
that's the
predict
thing. You
that.
didn't. I didn't know if maybe it was Abomination, but it was like the lighting. But
Right,
I
right.
couldn't tell. You couldn't really tell fully. And then when they did this, I put the pieces together. Like, oh my god! I know what they're doing. They're doing a deep cut thing from the comics here.
Mhm.
So in the comics, well, there are two characters in the comics. So the name Freak, there's a character in the comics called Freak. Now, Happy Hogan turned into this character called Freak, which is very similar to what we see here. Only he wasn't purple. Basically, it turns into kind of like a hulky, more like a Lou Ferrigno looking Hulk, if you will. Like
Uh-huh.
I think he was technically gray or something, but it was, not gray, but you know what I mean. He was just like just a monstrous version of Happy, maybe like a little more pale.
Right.
And then had a villain after one more day in the brand new day saga when we were kind of reinventing things a little bit. He had this character called Freak, who was basically, I believe, a meth addict. I think it was meth. It was meth or heroin. I think it was meth. He was a meth addict who ended up kind of turning into a monster. Like looked very burn victimy and like all red and kind of like a reddish pink. So it seems like they kind of split the difference there and they kind of combined them, which is really interesting.
Cool, cool.
We kind of gave the Happy Hogan deep cut just kind of a little bit more like a visage of like the most recent kind of Freak character. Is very much like he's a blank canvas of anything to do with them, and we've realized it via gamma radiated kind of Hulk blood, which is something we've seen in the MCU, and it's a great idea. So I was very like on board, like oh my god, this is such an insanely good idea. Where do we go from here?
Totally, totally. It's about the halfway point of the episode too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So basically, he's slowly but surely turning more and more hulky as there's a ticking clock at play here as he's trying to call for help and like, oh god, I'm turning into a Hulk. And Hammer's like he's a terrorist taking over Avengers Tower, and it's Christmas. What is happening? Like he's
Just
trying,
sheer chaos, Dragon. Just sheer chaos.
So he contacts Maria Hill. She ends up destroying the walkie, like telling him to, like kind of save the day essentially while she's in Hammer's clutches.
I will
Uh,
say that with Happy, I really like how it starts with just the leg, and we kind of have to work for the full Hulk out.
yeah,
I feel like it wouldn't be as satisfying if he just hulked out right away as soon as he was injected.
no, I'm with you.
Hmm.
All right, so we have a series of holiday calls, frantically looking for assistance here. So he calls Natasha, so Black Widow. Presumably, it sounds like she was doing a performance of the Nutcracker Suite. So trope.
Very much so. Very much so.
So we have
Ironically
Black.
enough, I just watched Fantasia last night again, and I was like, "Oh, Nutcracker, Christmas, ha!"
So we have Black Widow, like a pink tutu, being held at gunpoint by a former Hydra agent. So yeah, actually, this is post Winter Soldiers. There we go. We're directly like right before like Age of Ultron. There you go. Yeah, and she's basically like, "Wait, do you need help? No, I'm fine." Anyway, so you're gunfire. Yeah, she'll be fine. So then we have the big show. So we have Tony Stark, essentially as a mole Santa. At a Stark
Yes.
charity event, he got shoehorned into like, "Hey, the kids can be Iron Man. It's gonna be Tony Stark, miserable in a Santa suit."
Now I was very tempted to make this the thumbnail, but I wanted to
Uh
stick
huh.
with the title character here. But granted, this would have been the more festive thumbnail.
I love. So
Is
we
it
really
fair to say
played.
that Tony is the grumpy Santa, is kind of calling back to the Christmas story Santa just a little bit?
I think very much so. Yes.
All right. Grumpy Santa is also a trope.
Just given the fact that he's talking the kid out of the toy, it's a Christmas story. That's why I would agree with that.
Uh-huh.
Because so he's on the phone with Happy. He's trying to like, Happy, can you explain to this kid that Cap's shield is a glorified patriotic
Oh
frisbee?
god.
So again, just the idea
Also, I
that we're
love the visual of Happy trying to like hold the dainty little phone in his two huge fingers.
yeah. Yeah, so we have this thing where so we really established that Tony does not have respect for barely has any respect for Captain America at all in this.
Well, like you said, this is post Age of Ultron, but pre Civil War, right?
Well, no, that's pre Ultron, Tiki.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the real Tony Stark, Steve Rogers fallout has yet to happen.
Exactly. Anyways, meanwhile, Cap is helping Tony out, and I love the idea that you know that Tony Stark demanded Santa Claus. He would not settle for the elf, so he he stuck poor
Oh,
Cap.
God.
He stuck poor Captain America with the elf costume, but the soccer moms are not complaining. And this, I laughed so hard when I saw just the soccer moms swarming Captain America.
I mean, it's only natural.
It is. It is. That was priceless. That's a big laugh there. Meanwhile, how can things get even funnier? So he then calls Hawkeye. So Hawkeye and Banner, they're at the mall, basically in the Jingle All the Way trope.
Yes. Yeah, that is a fun thing about this episode is that all of our heroes are kind of basically in different Christmas movies.
And it's not just like casually Jingle All the Way just because they're shopping for the Christmas toy. You got to remember, Iron Man does have a little correlation to Jingle All the Way. I'm not saying it's like spelled out or direct, but the Turbo Man action figure, there are some influences there. A lot of
Oh,
it,
definitely.
without
Before Iron, like way back when Iron Man was like, oh, he's the loser of the Avengers. Little did people know.
So that's the thing, because if you look at it, Turbo Man is essentially kind of a combination of Buzz Lightyear and Iron Man. If you kind of look at him, I'm not saying it's like purely that, but I'm just saying the color scheme of Iron Man. There's a lot of Marvel influences in Jamie's bedroom, and again, just Buzz Lightyear being the highest selling toy of the year before that movie comes out. So anyway, point being, Clint is getting like an Iron Man figure for one of his kids, and I love that Bruce is like begging him, like all these kids are claiming, like, "Hey, we want the Iron Man figures." And he's like, "Just give him the doll." And it just says, "Give him the doll, Clint." And the son's getting real. Like he's threatening the Hulk out if he doesn't hand it over. What makes this scene perfect is to the right of frame, we see all the unsold Hawkeye figures. My favorite detail. Tell me you noticed this.
Yeah.
Okay, they were marked down.
I did notice the markdown. Yes.
See, initially 15% to 25%.
Oh, poor Clint.
And again,
you know what? Clint's gonna have the last laugh because he was the one who actually got a Christmas-themed Marvel series dragon.
That's true. That's very true. But also,
I don't see Bruce Banner getting a Christmas-themed Marvel series. I don't see She-Hulk having a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Anyway, it's also really funny too, just the fact that his own kids are rejecting him for Iron Man.
Oh God! Right.
Okay, anyway, so Happy's out of luck
seemingly
here.
Are a little on the rocks with the wife too. Like don't come home if you can't get it.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what happened? He promised to get it.
Yeah. So Happy, he's kind of running out of options, so he phones in Darcy, but it's really funny to hear him say like "Buffin to Sparrow" in the Hulk voice. That's amazing. Do you copy? We got a code red.
By the way, this is a reach, but I think there's a reason he's called Puffin too.
Oh God, okay.
In Elf, of course, the Christmas movie that Jon Favreau did that very much landed him the Iron Man job.
I always forget that Jon Favreau did Elf.
Yeah, and he's in that movie. He plays the Doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in addition to playing the Doctor, he voices a lot of the kind of the Rankin Bass looking stop motion.
Right, right, right.
One of them being Arctic Puffin.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you.
I'm just look. We have all sorts of other references. Also, Peter Billingsley, also an elf because he's friends with John Favreau.
There we go.
It's all relative. It all pays off. Anyway, okay. Anyway, so yes, things aren't going well for Happy calling in for some assistance here.
Darcy's got the cherries.
Yep, she's got the cherries from her fool's errand, and she's having trouble remembering the name of Die Hard. It's like, what is this, like Con Air or Under Siege? Or John McClane Focus, says Happy there. So Darcy, she gives Happy the idea to basically go to the sub basement and kind of restart Jarvis or use a Jarvis to basically kind of like kind of get things up and running there, kind of save the day. It's like, Darcy, you're brilliant,
And
So
again, I want to point out that at this point, Happy is basically fully hulked out except for his head. I love I love the gradual transition we get to the Hulk out.
It's great. I love it. Anyway, so we have the whole like, wait, you want me to be Reginald Val Johnson? Really? That's what you remember from the movie?
Oh God.
Now, to be fair, we all know. I like to think that she remembers that because of Family Matters.
For sure.
Because again, everyone knows, Reginald Val Johnson. Basically, oh yeah, the same cop. Essentially, or almost the same cop.
Basically the same character. The Family Matters.
Carl Winslow to Al Pal. It's very similar. Only one likes Twinkies. That's the difference. Anyway.
All right, so now we come to the "you guys can see me, can't you?" gag, which is fun. It's a lot of fun.
So we homage the fire hose escape from Die Hard, where he grabs the very tough spandex, which is good. It's better than the fire hose in retrospect. Crashes through the glass and ends up on the bottom row, and of course, in doing so, that's when we get the full Hulk out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
I kind of feel like our acts are almost separated by the Hulk outs. I kind of feel like Act One ends when he when he gets injected, and this is kind of like the end of Act Two going into Act Three.
I love the way. No, you're right. Yeah, we do separate like that. I love the way in which Happy's in control, but he is a little more manic and kind of hulky. You can kind of tell.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if this was like the default that Bruce Banner had going forward. Like, I feel like Bruce Banner Hulk has become way too milquetoast. And Dragon, we got the reference, but we didn't quite get exactly what I wanted. We didn't get the full Hulk redemption story. So I don't know. I want a little bit more from it. I was happy to get the reference, but still.
Yeah, you're happy. I mean, imagine how I felt.
Well, yeah, I know, but I would have liked them to go even further with it. But I guess only so much time in a movie.
I know. Well, it's also budget too. I mean, we're paying a lot of people.
Of course.
Anyway, but with that in mind, you're right though. It would be funnier though if we gave like kind of a Smart Hulk kind of like just those moments. Like, what if there's a running gag that Smart Hulk had like moments where he devolved into
No, that's what I'm saying. We need something to give Smart Hulk a little bit of bite, because at the moment he is honestly
like, what if he had a need to smash that was like a quitting
Dragon? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Professor Hulk right now, he's the lamest Avenger, just bar none. He's the lame one, which is sad.
Yeah, well,
don't think about it. He is the most lame.
Well, I mean,
he's totally milquetoast, Dragon. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, between Professor Hulk and kind of Thor's on a bit of the downswing. Between
Thor's on a downward spiral, but Thor, I feel like, has had more recent highs than Hulk has.
Okay.
Anywho,
so let's see. So the point being, we have some fun stuff with kind of Happy as Freak there. So Darcy's in the basement. We have like the Ode to Joy, playing, which is of course a nod to Die Hard yet again, where we see you thought the doorknob was the server, didn't you? All right, so we have all these programs that Tony Stark has ready, and that we've seen. I forget if all of these are a direct nod to what we saw in. God, I'm trying to remember which. Yeah, no, yeah, in Age of Ultron, that's where we saw the because that's when we swap out Jarvis with Friday. But so
Sure,
after
sure.
she calls out Friday, then she calls out Wadsworth, which does make me wonder: would we have gotten a sound alike or the actual Tim Curry had it been Wadsworth?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
There's Edith, and Edith, I believe, is like a deeper comics cut. Like Ultron had a bride. I forget if Edith was the bride of Ultron or not. But anyways, you have that, and then Werner.
Of course.
Can't forget about Werner. Yeah, I mean, again, that's yeah. I'm pretty sure Werner, by the way, is a reference purely to Jon Favreau's involvement on the Mandalorian.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Gotta be.
And also, I'm pretty sure that this is not the first time that like this exact same kind of setup for a gag where Werner Herzog's voice is the voice of an AI. I'm pretty sure we've seen that at least somewhere before. I want to say
Yeah.
maybe on The Simpsons or something. I don't know.
Yes, of course. Werner Herzog, I believe, not sadly not. I don't believe played by Werner Herzog. I believe played by Ross Marquardt, who is basically a really good impressionist. He's, of course, you and I were very familiar with Ross Marquardt because he played James Cameron in the Wonderful Blockbuster podcast.
Of course, yeah.
By the way, have you gone back to that? Are they doing more of
No,
those?
I need to, Dragon. I need to catch up on a lot
Well,
of
no,
things.
no, no. I'm asking you, like, do you know if there's more than the two seasons?
Not that I know of. There could very well be.
Okay, that's worth looking into.
Uh-huh.
God, I wonder what other directors that they'd explore.
I mean, honestly, I could see them doing like the early View Askew-niverse days,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, real very quick aside, we don't have to talk about it. I just want to like a yes or no. Did you see Kevin Smith's new trailer today?
No, I did not. Dragon, I'm not really following that man's work. I hate to say it, with all due respect to him.
You know, a no would have sufficed.
God. Dragon, unless it's Moose Jaws, all right?
No, it's not Moose Jaws.
I would be interested in Moose Jaws.
It's nice though.
All right, I'm sure it's nice. I don't know. Clerks 3 set out with the intention of being nice.
All right, anyway. So, Justin
Sorry,
Hammer.
that was mean.
Yeah, you just All right, anyway. So, Justin Hammer, he's on the walkie. And basically, he's kind of spinning, the whole like, good and bad. It's all PR. It's redemption is rebranding. That's how kind of going on and on, kind of philosophizing about what his plan is and how it doesn't really matter what he's done or that he's been in prison so long as he kind of spins it. So he's deluded very clearly. He basically says, show up here, like ho ho Hogan, I've got your girl Friday. I love that Darcy like appreciates the nice solid holiday wordplay. So we hear Christmas puns.
Yeah, that is fun. That is fun.
So Christmas
And let's
puns.
face it, Justin Hammer, he has better holiday wordplay than the Watcher. That's for sure.
Sure.
Well, I'm just saying it is very solid holiday wordplay. I agree with Darcy.
That's the thing. So basically, they come to the penthouse before she gets a bullet from Santa. And I love Kat Dennings' delivery of, "But I'm adorable."
Also, can we talk about how cool the doorknob gag is?
Well, sure.
Well, I know you mentioned it, but I just think
go
the reveal is really cool. Where it's like the one single computer, and then that reveals a whole bunch of other computers, like a whole network.
Well, the server farm, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool.
No,
Anyway.
I'm with you. It's a great joke. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, Justin Hammer, he's opening the Avengers. Such a prick. He's opening the Avengers Christmas presents.
Of course he. Dragon, I'm sorry. That is just the perfect. Like, who else but Justin Hammer can do that and like legitimately like you totally buy that he would be such a petty prick that he would actually do something like that, and it's totally in character for him to like take legit malicious joy out of it.
Now let's talk about what's important here, Tiki. So we have this great joke here where it's so funny that he opens Tony's gift to Cap, and it's Iron Man socks. So what I here's the real question. Okay, the henchmen kind of get into this a little bit. So Justin Hammer stipulates that oh man, the press is all got it all wrong. Tony doesn't like Cap at all. Where on the flip side, the Russians bring up like quality socks can be a good gift. Like where do you come down on that, sir?
You know what? I come down on it where I feel like more and more I see socks where I'm like, ooh, I want those socks. Like I feel like designer socks have gotten more and more cool and popular. So I'm with the guy. I think as long as it's a designer sock where it's something that you'd actually be into, then yeah, I think it's a solid gift.
So that's the thing. So
Dragon, I bought one pair of socks at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and it's of like a really obscure. I've used it as my avatar a couple times on StreamYard. It's a caveman, like a statue of a caveman that's riding in one of their Skyway gondolas. And I love that pair of socks. I cherish that pair of socks. And by all means, if anyone were to buy me another pair of socks that was themed to a similar obscure thing from the Santa Cruz Boardwalk or other such obscure theme park merchandise, I would be tickled pink. It would be a great gift for me. So yeah, I'm purely on the side of as long as it is in theme with what you're into, it would be a cool gift.
See here's where I come down on. Okay, so I think I'm kind of erring with Hammer only in the sense that they're Iron Man socks versus Captain America socks.
That's true. That's true.
It's an ego move on Tony's part. However,
Right.
as far as just cool socks go, I accessorize because I have a very, let's just say my work wardrobe is very Saul Goodman-esque in a good way.
Uh-huh.
And with that, I do well not color coordinate. I do color coordinate, but I'm saying I basically with my themed shirts, I do pair them with my theme socks. So I have like a giant drawer full of all Marvel, DC, and the other pop culturally kind of themed socks. So yeah, I very much enjoy. I have actually no joke. I have those. I have essentially a version of those exact Iron Man.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, but again, as I said before, opening the gifts trope.
And once again, Justin Hammer does another little dance as the elevator's about to open. I love how he's a very dancey guy. Again, they took like the 5 most memorable seconds of this character and really milked them for all they're worth.
All right. So then we kind of homage the ho 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 I have a machine gun moment, and it's let it snow with confetti. Then of course we explode like a bunch of confetti on Justin Hammer as a distraction. Then we reveal the giant freak on the loose. It's full on happy as the character freak. He's the Russians betray Hammer yet again. They leave him to deal with this situation alone because they know not to tangle with the Hulk. Anyway, so that's Happy versus the Ultron, the Ultron suits, and this is an even deeper cut, and this is what I really loved when I was watching it the first time. This is a wonderful nod to Iron Man 2, where we have the big third act of Iron Man 2, where it's Tony and Rhodey versus all the hammer drones, and
Sure.
Gendy Tartakovsky was brought in to board that scene, and that's why we have all the oil coming from the hammer drones. It's a nod to Samurai Jack cutting through all of Aku's bug scarab minions, the beetle minion guys. So we're doing that here again. So we Favre, who's a huge fan of Tartakovsky, getting into a fight with these, and when he crushes all these guys, especially down the hallway, it's full on Tartakovsky homage.
Also, we get a little bit of a hallway fight, which, it's kind of funny how this episode is kind of, it's a good mix of like action movie tropes, Christmas tropes, and MCU tropes.
Yeah.
It's like a little cocktail of all 3 of them.
Love it. Time to hammer time that hammer gets
it's
nailed.
Hammer time, baby.
No, it's time that hammer gets nailed. Then we have the awesome. We have a lot of good fights in here. Again, we already had the hallway fight, which again, anytime you see a hallway in Marvel, you should run because something's going to happen to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No claustrophobia, kids. There you go.
Does
close
a
quarters.
bus count as a hallway?
I mean, that was a oneer though, wasn't it? I think
it was.
I mean, look, I would say, well, to be fair, I mean, now we're kind of doing the bus a couple times, but yes,
Right.
as far as Shang-Chi goes. Anyway, so I know recently a bus fight was definitely a winner, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we have a fight going on here. Justin Hammer, he armors up with the Hulkbuster.
Which, of course, I honestly, the first time I was watching this, I kind of felt stupid that I didn't see the Hulkbuster coming. Just makes sense.
Let's see, Darcy, I think when the Hulkbuster is summoned, she thinks she sees Santa Claus.
Oh, God, of course.
Justin Hammer going like, I'm Santa Claus, baby. So then we have an awesome fight between Freak and the Hulkbuster, which is really cool. Again, Justin Hammer has no idea what he's doing. This is kind of a. I like
Also,
to think.
Justin Hammer name drops Hulk Hogan. We should mention that. Any
That he
last
does.
words? Hulk Hogan.
Yep, famous last words, Hulk Hogan.
Right, right.
But you know it was inevitable. If anyone's going to make that joke, it absolutely has to be Justin Hammer.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. So I love that in kind of a nod to Iron Man. The big criticism of the third act, the big climax of Iron Man 1 was that okay, Obadiah Stane has no idea what he should have no idea what he's doing in piloting that suit. So
It's literally just like roar. I'm gonna get in there, but I don't really know how to control this thing. Oh no!
he lucked out. He just got tremendously lucky.
That's one of the few things that Iron Man 2 actually does better than Iron Man 1. Definitely a better third act climax.
True. However, I still, man, I tell you, not in a critical way, but I'm just saying, like, just for just a pure like audience enjoyment kind of way. Based on when I saw that movie for the first time, I just love the fact it feels like you're on a Universal simulator ride. It feels like like when
No,
that
it
scene
does. It
starts,
does.
like when he's going after Pepper Potts, like when she's running away from, like that's a great feeling. There's something very much kind of like theme park attraction about the third act of Iron Man.
Sure, sure.
Anyway, so point being, we have a cool fight here again. Hammer doesn't really know Hammer's not a fighter, so he's barely keeping up here. He loses the arm. So again, we're seeing the Hulkbuster's getting trashed, and then enters the Avengers at the worst possible moment.
Oh God, they're basically like, "Hey, you can't mess with Tony's stuff."
Yeah. So they're fighting. They're fighting Freak, not really letting them explain there. So poor Happy Hogan. He's We have the epic link up to the epic money shot. They're all kind of attacking, using Bruce Banner's eating Christmas cookies though instead of fighting.
That's fun. That's fun.
So I love that in a sense, Christmas is the Hulk's happy place.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So again, Christmas cookies and sweater. Chirp, chirp. They're asking where's Thor. We'll find out later. Let's see. So Cap, I love this. Cap figures out that wait a minute, is that Happy? He's like, no, come on, it's Happy. Like Tony's just brushing.
Yeah,
it
of
off.
course. It makes sense that Cap, being the everyman that he is, would be the first to recognize him.
Uh-huh. So Darcy interrupts, saying, "Hey, he's on the guest list." Hey, and then I don't understand. Like Darcy interjects, she says, "He's on the guest list." Then Black Widow shoots him again with the little widow's the widow's sting, just yet again. Like, come on, like Natasha, it's me. Like, really, Natasha? Did you have to shoot him a second time after like someone?
I don't know. I just thought that I didn't really mind that. I feel like it was just
no, it's fine. I'm just saying, it's like, come on. Anyway, so we have the one-armed Hulkbuster is the bad guy. Just with the click of a button, Tony de-armors him, which is really funny.
Right.
Anyway, so Happy, Happy roars and kind of like a sonic blast, kind of an equivalent to the Hulk clap.
We get a good old-fashioned Die Hard falling out of the building.
The Hans Gruber fall.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like, Justin Hammer, he's a goner.
Thank God that building sloped. Am I right?
Well, yeah. I know.
Thank
you
God
breathe
for creative architecture.
I know you breathe a huge sigh of relief there. Just listen to the moment, like, oh no, we did all this great stuff with Hammer, and we're gonna kill him. Or no, thank God, it's the holidays.
Right, rest assured, as much as this did whet my appetite for Hammer, I still desperately need him to make a live action return.
I mean, look, it'd be nice if he pops up in Thunderbolts. It's not a guarantee, but there is hope. Also, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Armor Wars is the lock for Hammer. If Hammer's ever going to show up, it's got to be an
Is
Armor
Armor
Wars.
Wars even still happening though?
I mean, yes and no.
Oh God.
All I'm saying is that they announced it, but they haven't like re-announced it when they're like. Here's the thing: I think we'll know at D23, but we don't really, Comic Con focused on 3 Marvel movies and the Avengers movies. That's all they really officially said. But they said there's going to be more. The show announcements are going to be during D23. Now I don't know if that means they're going to also announce some of the rest of the movies and do like the big timeline-y kind of thing they always do. I don't know. So I mean, Armor Wars was announced, but they've been shifting things around, so who knows?
We will see. We will see.
Point being,
All right,
fingers
so let's
crossed.
round this out.
Yeah, so anyway, so we have our Christmas moral here. The whole like, why'd you save me? It's Christmas, Hammer. Goodwill towards men, even the bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Tony's not mad at Happy. He says like, have your only insurance policy I'll ever need. So that's kind of nice. I'll tell you what's not nice though. Happy's asking like, hey, you guys can cure me, right? And just Tony's completely brushes it off, like
Oh God!
It's like, oh wow, Tony, that's bad. That's naughty list material, buddy. Oh,
It would be wild if this was just the main continuity and Happy was just Purple Hulk now.
well, that's the thing. So, had this been main continuity, the reason we didn't do this, I speculating. Obviously, there's like a time thing. We have other Marvel movies to do. It really does feel like a budgetary thing. We just can't afford to make Jon Favreau into a Hulk.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest though. Like, as fun as this episode is, I honestly kind of feel like the gimmick would wear off its novelty pretty quickly. And as recent movies have shown, Happy Hogan just kind of popping up for a quick cameo, just being Jon Favreau, is more than enough, I think. So.
Yeah.
I think it's good to keep the status quo the way it is.
But again, I'm glad that we saw it, though. I'm glad we got a taste
Yeah.
of what it would have been like. And the presumption is, like, here, like, in this...
That's the beauty of What If, right?
And I'll admit, though, it does make me wonder, in a Secret Wars, if we were to have, like, a big kind of equivalency to a portal scene, we bring everyone back from the multiverse. I think that would be really cool, don't you? That we'd actually see Freak Happy Hogan. No?
I could see it for like a. I wouldn't want it to be like a like a permanent thing, but
no. Well,
like
I'm saying like if we had
sure.
like a one-off thing where we're bringing in the troops, like all the wacky what if kind of stuff, like that would be a way of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we bring them back. Anyway, sure. So point being, he's so the presumption is in this tangent of the multiverse here, in this branch of the multiverse, like he would probably, like Emil Blonsky and She-Hulk, he'd be able to calm down and kind of revert to the Happy Hogan form and then Ben Hulk out when need be. That's the presumption. So there is no cure, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if Bruce Banner can't cure himself, that means he can't cure himself either. So,
all right.
Anyway, so then we have Justin Hammer going bah humbug, and then then we kind of round things out. The whole Tony Stark to his team gave a whistle. Some food would be beneficial.
No, that's a good line.
Yeah,
but again, I want to point out the Watcher didn't even make the rhyme though. Jacob or Dragon, I'm sorry, Jacob literally just sent me the Superman thumbnail, so that's why his name popped up in my head. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad I leave such an
Jacob.
For 11. It's been
You're
11
not even in this podcast, but I'm calling you out, Jacob.
It's been 11 seasons. He still can't get my name right.
Oh God. I'm sorry, that was embarrassing.
Anyway,
all right.
So so then the Happy is so hungry he could actually eat a fruitcake. So Trope making a fruitcake joke.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right, so then we have the late arrival trope too, where Thor finally arrives wearing a Santa hat, and Merry Christmas to all guys. Oh, I missed the party.
Mm-hmm.
To all good night. We rounded out. That's the special. That's the episode. Boom.
All right, so before we get into some tropes, let's just shout out the good people here. We have Kogias, Little Blue, Sonia Pantoja, Dragon. Have you rewatched the Haunted Mansion 2023 movie lately?
Well, not lately.
Yeah, me neither. But she was asking, so
Well,
And then also Teddy is just like, he stole Christmas.
yes, he
Oh, yeah.
almost did, but yeah.
And all right, so Dragon, let's go through the tropes.
Do we want to review the specials? Specials of this year first, or no?
I guess we could.
I'm saying because it's also kind of like tangentially our final thoughts as
It
well.
is,
So,
or yeah, right. Okay.
all right. Okay, so start us off.
You probably have the list more memorized than I do, my friend.
All right, the bears. You had fishes.
Okay, yeah, the bear, obviously, we kind of framed this where I feel like What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas is very much like the big fan servicey, um, one that we can end out on, but this is definitely a big season premiere one for sure.
Oh
Big
yeah,
land.
it's the Emmy one of the bunch.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that, like, in 20 years' time, people are still going to be looking back on this episode as, like, one of the all-time greats as far as Christmas episodes go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the Snoopy Show.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun with it, a little bit on the lighter side, but I really love the whole mechanic of Snoopy just loving to unwrap presents and it doesn't matter what's inside. That's adorable.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, big shout out to Casey and Andrew Denson for joining me on Lost, The Constant. Definitely an unconventional podcast. We didn't really do it beat by beat because frankly, there was very little actual Christmas stuff on the episode. But a 20th anniversary in universe 20th anniversary. The phone call took place Christmas Eve 2004. And that Christmas phone call, Dragon, is one of the all-time biggest, most memorable moments in all of Lost. So it was great to commemorate it. Frasier, you want to say something on that?
Well, yeah. Again, that was that was a really that was a unique Christmas episode. Also, kind of doubles as a really solid kind of season finale, and also just, it was really good in celebrating the tradition of the Frasier Christmas special. Even coming back for a reboot that very easily could have tanked, and it actually held up. And I don't know, I felt it kind of hit some really nice emotional notes there. A little bit here and there, nothing overblown, but it was just kind of like it was kind of a joyous like return to Frasier.
And then It's Always Sunny was definitely a good kind of debaucherous, much more comedy leaning sort of side dish to Frasier. I feel like we did both of them on the same night, and I feel like they complemented each other quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally this, which is, I mean, like we said, it's pretty much tailor-made for us. I don't even really know how much more I can add to that. It's
Well timed with the Marvel stuff that's going on.
It's our needs like a tea.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Okay, so Dragon, one last time. Let's go through the tropes.
Well, let's see. So it was the night before Christmas framing device trope.
We got stockings being hung.
Was
Obviously, all the Die Hard stuff. I feel like we can just pretty much wrap all that into one.
Sure. Poinsettias and unwrapping the gifts.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I feel like Justin Hammer is very much our Christmas Grinch.
Yep, we had Jingle All the Way with Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
Mall Santa with Tony Stark. And
oh yeah.
As the
Grumpy Mall Santa.
Yep, there you go, Grumpy Mall Santa. We had we had a Christmas Story being referenced.
Sure.
We had Nutcracker Suite. The big the big Christmas party going awry.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
The Christmas errand.
Christmas shopping shenanigans with Hawkeye and Bruce.
Yeah, we have the Christmas errand with Darcy getting the maraschino cherries.
yes.
Let's see. We have just Santa hats just all around, like Thor wearing a Santa hat at the end. The late arrival to the Christmas party,
including a giant one on the A.
Yep. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, for sure. Christmas puns with the Christmas wordplay from Justin Hammer.
Sure.
Santa sighting with Darcy saying, "It's Santa."
Oh my God. Yeah, that is true. Sure.
I'm trying to see if I think that's. I'm trying. There might be one more. Hold on. Let me. Da, 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 da.
Christmas moral, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. Christmas moral. Yeah, we had a solid Christmas moral there, and yeah, that's fruitcake.
All right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I think that covers it.
Tiki, that was a buffet, a Christmas at the Sizzler, if you will, of tropes. Look at that! Look at that tropey platter. Look at all those tasty tropes.
Don't you knock the sizzler, my friend.
Oh no! But the Tiki, it's just every year after year we list all these tropes, and 11 years we put up with this now, and there's still not a good name for what this process is called.
Okay, hold on, Dragon. I think I have an idea.
Face, and there's some Chris Sarandon sounding solution, and we don't have anything.
So, Dragon, follow me, okay?
Lead
in
the
this
way.
episode, we have a purple Hulk, right?
Yes.
So, in the new Captain America movie, we're getting a red Hulk, right?
Yeah, you don't just throw colors at me, Tiki. Where are you going with this, man?
Well, what else is red, Dragon? Think about it. What else is red that could possibly be Christmas related? Not stockings, but maybe the little berry thing on a mistletoe.
Okay, so the mistletoe. What about the mistletoe?
We can put it under the microscope, Jack Skellington style. Just look at our image.
Oh my God! I did not see this. Oh my God! You're right, Tiki. You've enlightened us all as a viewing audience. I'm so proud of you, Raya. You solved the Christmas dilemma, the seasonal Christmas dilemma. The Christmas that is not the Christmas, but on the way to Christmas. You found a way to festively analyze all the tropes. Tiki, say it for the folks. What silvery zeal do we kind of wrap around this present? That is the present of the moment we're in each other's lives right now. What do we call it?
We're putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope. Next time on Christmas in July. See you next year, everyone. Follow.
La 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 la. Happy holidays.